Hey, most of you guys probably do not know what this brand new to the United States Ford vehicle is. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Let's talk about the 2018 Ford Ecosport. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Jorge Lopez, your sales consultant over at Tomball Ford in Tomball, Texas. Thank you very much for tuning into the channel, and I'm here to share some information regarding the brand new 2018 Ford Ecosport that Ford brought over to the United States. It's actually been out in the market since 2003, if you can believe it, in countries like Mexico, Brazil, and other parts of the world, where it's been the #1 selling subcompact SUV like ever. And I really didn't know much about the Ecosport until Ford released some information to us sales consultants. But it's a good little car, and we're gonna talk about it here shortly. I do want to tell you that the Ford has always said for the engine, pronounce it as EcoBoost. So we had in our mind brainwashed Eco, and then they came out with this SUV, and they are instructing us to pronounce it as Ecosport. So these vehicles have an EcoBoost engine, but they're pronounced Ecosport, so go figure. Now, as far as the trim level goes, we have an S, we have an SE, which is what we're going to be talking about today. We have an SCS, and then we also have a titanium trim level. And obviously, they differ on the bells and whistles and the equipment and options that each of them have. But I'm going to take this one, for example, because this is like our 4th one that we've received. And today's date is February the 21st of 2018. So I'm making this video on this vehicle so that I can share some info to you guys, and hopefully you find this info valuable. If you do, do not forget to hit the like button. We love likes. And then also make sure to subscribe to the channel. So let's go ahead and talk about the 2018 Ford Ecosport. All right, guys. Well, here is another look of the Ford Ecosport, and I did want to mention that this vehicle, believe it or not, has sold more than 1.7 million since 2003. So there has been many EcoSports sold, and like I said before, it's like the #1 selling subcompact SUV in China and Russia and other parts of the world. And Ford is expecting to sell about 500,000 of these guys by the year 2020. So don't know if that's going to happen. Don't know the reception that customers are going to have with this subcompact SUV. But it's a really cool looking vehicle. It's got some really good lines on it. And what do you guys think? Do you think Ford is going to be selling 500,000 by the year 2020? We'll see. We're like 2 years away from that point. So hit yes or no. I'll leave a poll question up in the cards, up in the screen, so that you guys can vote and see if you think that this'll sell. So like every walk around, I like to start off on the window sticker to show you a couple of things here. So pardon with the glare, wasn't expecting a lot of glare, so let's see if we can find a good spot. No, there's not going to be a good spot. So trust me, it says 2018 EcoSport. The color of this vehicle is called Smoke Metallic with the ebony black cloth seating. And like I said before, there's different levels. This one happens to be the SE front wheel drive. There is an SES that you can get a 4-wheel traction on that vehicle. This one here has an SE convenience package, which gives you the navigation and the 8-inch screen that we'll talk about here shortly. The starting point on this guy is $25,195. Fuel efficiency, 28 miles per gallon mixed city and highway driving, 27 on the city and 29 on the highway. So that gives you an idea of pricing, fuel efficiency on this vehicle. Let's go ahead and talk about the engine and share some info on that. So taking a look at the engine, this one here is a 1.0 EcoBoost 3-cylinder. Yeah, it's an i3 with 123 horsepower, a whopping 123, and 125 pound-foot of torque on the front-wheel drive. And it's got towing capabilities of about 1,400 pounds. Now there's a bigger brother to this, which comes in the 4-cylinder. It is a 2.0 EcoBoost with 166 horsepower and 149 pound-foot of torque. And you have towing capabilities of 2,000 pounds on that engine. I haven't driven it, and we'll do a test drive review here shortly, but I wanted to show you and give you some info on the engine. So checking out the front end of this vehicle, it kind of has a resemblance of the Ford Fiesta, and that is actually the frame and chassis that this EcoSport is built on. It is actually a little bit longer than the Fiesta overall in length, but it is smaller than the Ford Focus. And one of the distinct features that the EcoSport gives you is this piece here that goes all the way down on the bottom part of the fascia of the bumper area. You got your LED lights and projection beam headlights, fog light on this one. Gives you a nice color-coded section in the front. It's a good standing vehicle. It's got a nice stance on it. It's a little bit wider than a few of the subcompact SUVs out there. Also, what I like is that you have standard aluminum wheel, where when you see a lot of the entry-level subcompact vehicles, they give you hubcaps. This one here is an actual aluminum wheel. The bottom part is not painted like the top part is. A couple of other nice features that you get on the Ford EcoSport have to do with technology. As you can see here on the side mirror, if I zoom in a little bit closer, I don't know if you can see, but you do have the blind spot monitoring system on the vehicle, which helps you detect a car in your blind spot while you're driving. Also, what I like is that the entry of the vehicle is controlled by the smart key technology. So if you have the key with you, all you need to do is press these grooves here and you will lock your doors. You touch the inside part of the handle to unlock your doors, which is something really nice that you get on the EcoSport. And then true to most companies out there, specifically Ford, you have a capless fuel system. So all you need to do is insert the nozzle, you pump fuel. You don't have to worry about locking or putting back your cap. There are 2 trap doors to impede any fumes or debris to get in and get out of the fuel system. So it's pretty simple and easy. Now let's check out the back, because the back is something that is brand new to the Ford lineup and has to do with how you open the tailgate. So you will search and never find a door latch button where it's traditionally found on the Fords, which is underneath the center part of the tailgate, but not on the EcoSport. On the EcoSport, this is kind of different and cool. You've got your handle that is hidden underneath this silver plate built into the lens itself. So this here allows you to press the button pending you have the key with you. You press the button and you open the latch like so. Okay guys, so let me show you how the back compartment works, because there's a couple of things that you can do back here to maximize the amount of space that you have access to on the back of the vehicle. So first of all, you do have a little shade cover that you can use. There's really not a lot of coverage here that this thing will cover, but it's there. Let me remove it so that I can show you how to work the back part of this system. Okay, so back over here, we have a storage system. And I don't think you can see me. You have a storage system that allows you to pick up this bottom part piece, which by the way, it's a very hard composite plastic piece that you're able to use, and you can change the level of storage. As you can see here, you've got these levels that allow you to place this board so that you can increase or decrease the amount of storage that you have access to. So let me show you how that works. I had it at the bottom, so you can use this to maximize your storage. You've got the middle portion. And then you've got the top level that you can see right here, so that you can cover most of it. And the reason why you want this is so that when you fold the seats forward, then you'll have a completely flat area for use for your space. So let me show you how that works. So this is a setup that you can do to maximize the cargo capacity out of the back part of the Ford Ecosport, which is pretty neat. It reminds me of the older Ford Escapes that we have the ability to flip up the bottom part of the seat. So the Ecosport does the same thing and allows you a decent size area for cargo capacity. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I want to show you now the amount of space that you have behind the driver and passenger seat. So on the second row, which is one of the drawbacks I see of the EcoSport, because it's such a subcompact SUV that it really limits the amount of room, leg room that you have, to be exact, on the second row. So let's check that out and see how tight it is, okay? I'm about 5'7", not too tall of a guy, but I'm actually surprised that I have enough leg room. I mean, I don't know if I could feel comfortable on a long trip, but to get me from point A to point B I think this is enough room. I've positioned my front seat where I would like to drive, and if you see, legroom is pretty decent. I have about maybe 2.5 inches right here. I've got enough headroom, another 2 inches there. So it's not bad at all in the back for the tight space that you have inside. So I give it a plus on the size. Now, if you are a taller person, you might have an issue where your knees might be hitting the back part of the front seat, but for a 5'7" guy, this is enough. I've got about 2.5 inches to spare before I hit the back part of the seat. So I'm back over in the driver's side, and I'm going to show you a couple of really nice features that are on this EcoSport that you can't find on anything else, including the big screen, and that's one of the biggest differences on the inside part of the dash. I've never seen a screen like this before, except on like higher end. For example, Mercedes has this type of a screen, and I don't know if Ford is going to be implementing this look. But anyways, let me just show you. So this is what I'm talking about right here, this 8-inch screen that is available on the Ford EcoSport. And this is called Sync 3. You obviously have capabilities to connect devices. You have your navigational software, so you have all your maps here, different apps that you can use through your cell phone, general settings on the vehicle. Now, what I like about this here is that you have ambient lighting, which I miss on my F-150. As you guys know, if you have been following the channel, I have a 2018 F-150, and come to find out, Ford did away with the ambient lighting on that F-150, which might be a little bit quirky, but man, I loved it. I had it on my 2015, and I do miss it. Now, I do want to tell you about Ford Hotspot, which is really cool. I've been using it in my truck. I do have a 7-year-old daughter, and you know, kids, they love their iPads and technology. So you guys can get Hotspot. It is $20 a month, and it is through AT&T, and it is 4G LTE speeds, and it works phenomenal. You don't have to secure a contract. You pay as you need it. So if you know that you're gonna be heading out on a trip, you can just get it for that month, pay the 20 bucks, and you can connect up to 10 devices, and you can be out about 50 feet from the vehicle and still be connected. Another thing that I like is that your temperature here shows what temperature you are at. Instead of just hot and cold, you do have heated seats. Here in Texas, we don't use this feature much, but I'm pretty sure that up north, you guys do use it often. Now, you do have the automatic stop-start technology on these vehicles, which seems to be something that's going to be standard on most vehicles, and especially on Ford. You do have 2 charge-capable USB ports, and hazard lights, vents. For AC, you got 2. You got a third one, and the driver's side over here. So you have enough AC vent going through the small cab that it'll heat or cool off the cab quicker. A little storage compartment, glove compartment right there. This is where your manual goes to save the amount of space. There's your antenna. We haven't put it on this vehicle. Now, talking about airbags, you do have 10 airbags, and safety is a big deal with Ford. So you've got 10 airbags, including airbags for the knees. So imagine that you got knee airbags, you got dual stage airbags in the front, you got the curtain airbags, the side airbags. This vehicle is a very, very safe vehicle to be driving on the road. You also have row stability control, which measures every 16 milliseconds using sensors like the yaw sensor so that you don't lose any type of control while you're driving. You also have something called SOS post crash warning, which Basically what happens, God forbid you're involved in an accident, if the airbags deploy, then the system calls 911, and it also will honk the horn. It'll flash the lights in case you are in a remote area. Somebody will be able to find you quick. You also have automatic lights. You leave it in that setting and you don't have to worry about turning on your lights on and off at all. And then your power windows, locks, mirrors, cruise, tilt, I mean all that stuff which is standard and typical on most cars, you have it on the Ford Ecosport. You have your Bluetooth capability so you can make a call, receive a call, all hands-free. All right, let's talk about these seats. Let me turn off the engine, I don't need it on. Look at this design, it's a different design. Cloth seating on the SE model. Very comfortable feeling. You got your power seats, manual lumbar. You've got an armrest here, tiny one, but you have one. At least we can say we have an armrest. Some subcompact SUVs don't even have an armrest. Cup holders, little storage compartment. There's another look of the inside. This one also has your sunroof, which is a feature that I absolutely love. And then depending on the trim level, you also have B&O sound system. This one does not have it, but I can promise you that you will definitely jam out, being that this is a small cabin. And to jam out to the Bang & Olufsen sound system is going to sound phenomenal. Okay, so I'm ready to test drive the Ford Ecosport. I've never driven it before, so this will be my first time driving the Ford Ecosport. So I'm ready to feel, I'm anxious to feel how 123 horsepower is gonna feel. So don't know if I'm gonna be surprised or I don't know if I'm gonna feel like, okay, I was expecting that. So come on with me, let's go see how the Ford Ecosport drives. But before we drive off in the vehicle, let's see if we can hear the exhaust, or if the wind that I have going on right now is louder than the exhaust. So let's do an exhaust clip. Let her rip. Okay, so let's test out the power of 123 horsepower. Let's see if there's any surprises. I've got it punched all the way. Barely at 60. So the initial punch, and I'm so sorry if the camera is shaking too much, but the initial power, the initial acceleration is slow. The shifting points are great. It shifts really smooth because of the select shift transmission that I'm so glad that Ford changed from the power shift transmission. If you recall, there's a lot of Ford Focuses out there that have the bad transmission, and I'm so glad that Ford decided to change that for this vehicle. Overall though, the drivability of the car is really nice and smooth. Again, the shifting points on the transmission are good. But the power, I'm punching it. Still punching it. And I got to 60. 60 miles an hour. Hey, it is what it is. You can't expect much from a subcompact SUV. But overall, the power, like I said, I wouldn't call it underpowered, but it's very close to it. it has just enough. So I wish it had a little bit more, but like I said, it is what it is. But it's really comfortable. The ride is comfortable enough. The steering, nice and solid, smooth. Punching it. Okay. So we are back at the dealership, and overall, man, this car is it's a pretty good car. The only gripe I would have about it is the power, but you've got really good fuel efficiency, extremely safe vehicle on the road. You got airbags all over. So overall, this vehicle is it's a good candidate if you're looking for something that is subcompact. The Ford Ecosport is a wonderful, wonderful choice. So hey, thank you so much for watching. Remember, I am your sales consultant here at Tomball Ford. If you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know. And if you are in the Houston Tomball area, come look me up. We have a no haggle approach. So if you're looking for the best customer service at the best possible price, I am your guy. Tomball Ford, Jorge Lopez. If you found this video informative, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We've got some more reviews coming your way. So thank you again. You guys have a blessed day.